here would be neuroglial cells. But I believe that all you're responsible for is being able to find the cell body and the cell processes. Do you guys have to be able to find the synaptic terminals?
Yes.
Okay. To do that, we're going to have to pull a different slide. We don't have one that has it all. Okay, and usually what they do is they just pull a section of muscle. Said that that's the exact same thing you just looked up. Hold on.
Oh no.
Okay, so let's hope that this is a good one. Which of course is not. Try again. Or grab a budget. One of these. Awesome. Excellent. Well, this is the best that we're probably going to do. All of these little black blobs at the end, all of these are synaptic terminals. So what's happening is here's our main axon branch coming down. It's going to branch into the little branches, and then at the end of each one there's going to be a little blob which is going to sit down. This is reptilian muscle tissue. So you can see all the muscle fibers are running in this direction, and this is talking to this one, and this is talking to that one, and that's going to talk to the next one over there. Okay, so that's what the synaptic terminals actually look like. We can see more up here, or you can see some of them very pronounced up there, and you can see some over here. Oops, wrong way. But that's about as good, and we can see another section over here where we're seeing all the little blobs. That's as good as we can get. Okay? All right. What's the next thing you guys need? You need a spinal cord cross section, right? Okay. all of this is white matter.